The story started by showing a salaryman doing his everyday work. He went to meet multiple clients, but he kept failing to secure a deal. However, he never gave up and used his failures to improve himself until he succeeded. After a successful deal, he was excited as he finally reached his quota, and he was certain that he would finally secure a promotion. At the same time, a man was laughing while looking at his gun, but an officer tackled him, trying to stop him from escaping. However, the man accidentally fired the gun, hitting the clueless salaryman, who was just looking forward to celebrating his promotion with his coworkers. The salaryman couldn't accept that he would die just like that. But another unexpected thing happened. Because of his unfortunate death, a god took pity on him and decided to reincarnate him on a planet similar to Earth, but with magic and monsters. He woke up in his new world and body right away. While wondering if he had really reincarnated, a dragon passed by above him, greatly shocking him. So he realized that a god really reincarnated him in a world called Galdardia. While he was surprised that he wasn't wearing his suit anymore, the god started talking to him, and he told him that he could see his status by reciting status open. He gave it a try, and his status window really popped up in front of him, similar to a game. Then the god told him that although his race and age were predetermined, he could decide the rest. And the god wished that he would be blessed in his new life. First, he decided to name himself Lucille. Then for his skills, he took assess mastery, martial arts, magic control, and monster luck. Then he chose healer for his job, as he thought that it would provide him with steady work and he didn't have the courage to face monsters himself. Then he checked how much money he has, and he found out that he has 3 silver coins in total. Afterwards, he decided to look for work since in this world everyone is considered an adult at 15 years old. While walking, he stumbled into a huge monster corpse, and he ran away quickly, afraid to lose his life just after getting reincarnated, and he swears that in this life he will die of old age. Lucille was amazed after seeing the city's huge entrance. He observed the people entering the gate. He noticed that everyone was showing a card similar to an ID while paying a toll before they could enter. It was Lucille's turn to enter, and the guard stopped him while asking for his ID. At first, he didn't know what to do, but he immediately apologized while saying that he didn't have any documents to prove his identity. The guard was shocked, but Lucille turned on his business mode and explained that he became a healer after coming of age. But he was cast out by his village since they didn't have any use for him, so he decided to enter the city, hoping that he would be able to train in a clinic. The guard asked him to wait before he left to consult about Lucille's situation. Although he used his experience from his previous work to deal with his situation, he was still worried that he had actually messed up. While he was thinking if he would need to escape, Lumina arrived and asked him if he was the person who wanted to join a clinic. Lucille was surprised by her beauty, but he immediately answered her question before explaining his situation. After hearing his response, Lumina asked him to follow her to the Healers Guild. Lucille was worried about the toll, but the guard told him to get going while explaining that they don't collect tolls from healers. Lucille thanked the guard before leaving, but he noticed that Lumina was already far ahead, so he started running to catch up to her. However, he stumbled after bumping into an adventurer. He was intimidated when the adventurer asked him where he was going in such a hurry, so he politely answered that he was going to the Healers Guild. The adventurer's mood got even worse after hearing that he was a healer, so Lucille explained that he can't use magic yet. So the adventurer warned him not to become a corrupt healer, as he wouldn't let him off easily. Hearing this, Lucille immediately went into business mode and promised that he would strive to be an ethical healer that people could trust. The adventurers left after hearing his response. Lucille was really anxious because of the adventurers, but Lumina told him that she was ready to step in if they laid their hands on him. Seeing that she's confident in taking on the adventurers, Lucille realized that she is really strong. After seeing his surroundings, Lucille confirmed that he was really reincarnated. Then he asked Lumina why he wasn't charged the toll for entering the city, so Lumina explained that since healers deal in matters of life and death, they get preferential treatment, and only the Empire could charge healers tolls. Lucille felt lucky because of this, and he thought it was the effect of his monster luck skill. Lumina explained that healers stand in the Republic of Saint Shirul, home to the Healers Guild headquarters. After he entered the guild, Lumina happily welcomed him. Lucille immediately thanked her while thinking that his reincarnation was definitely a blessing. The receptionist asked Lucille to fill out the registration form. He couldn't read it at first, but the words got translated into his language while he was staring at the form. While Kiraru and Lumina were talking, Lucille noticed that Kiraru was really respectful towards Lumina, so he concluded that she was someone really important. Afterwards, Lucille continued filling out the form. However, he felt troubled when he had to provide his hometown, as he had no idea what it was. He was certain that it would be called out if he left it blank, so he decided to play dumb and asked Kururu if he could write down village since he didn't know the name of their village. Kururu thought Lucille was really stupid, but she kept it to herself and told him that it was fine if he really didn't know. Lucille noticed her change of expression, but he ignored it and finished filling out the form. Afterwards, Lucille asked Lumina the town's name. She thought he was really ignorant, but she told him that they were in the town of Maritoni in the Republic of Saint Shirul. Seeing Lumina's scary expression, Lucille promised that he would try his hardest to learn, and she calmed down after hearing it. At the same time, Kururu returned and asked Lucille to channel his magic into a card. Since he has the magic control skill, he didn't have any trouble channeling his magic, and his rank, guild information, and name appeared on the card. Kururu asked for his card again before returning to the room, so he got curious and asked Lumina what Kururu was doing inside. Lumina explained that she's registering his card in the Healers Guild's magic network so he can use it in any Healers Guild around the world. After coming back, Kururu returned his card while confirming that Lucille is indeed a healer. She also added that he has magic control and holy magic affinity. After seeing that everything was settled, Lumina excused herself. Lucille panicked and he immediately stopped her while explaining that he had never used holy magic, so he didn't know how to use it. Lucille was afraid after seeing her expression, but he explained that they didn't have any spell tomes in their village since he was the very first healer there. Because of this, Lumina remembered that Lucille is really ignorant, and she thought that she really had no choice but to help him. Lumina explained that there are 3 options for learning healing magic. First is Spartan training, where he will study hard until he learns healing spells by reciting them until he runs out of magic, then do it all over again once his magic replenishes. The second option is to take out a loan before entering a normal educational institution, where he will have to study for 3 years to learn magic. However, he will have to repay the Healers Guild 1 platinum coin. Then the last option is an apprenticeship, where he will perform various tasks while studying magic in his free time. Lumina asked him to choose after explaining everything. Lucille thought that apprenticeship was the most reasonable, but he wouldn't know how much his free time would be. While taking a loan is basically a student loan, he knew how troubling it was based on his previous life. Meanwhile, Spartan training was like cramming for exams. But since he could see his progress using his assess mastery skill, he thought he could power through it like how he used to meet his quota during his work in his previous life. Then he told Lumina right away that he would be choosing Spartan training. Lumina was shocked, while Kururu thought that he was really stupid for willingly choosing Spartan training. Before following Kururu to his room, Lucille thanked Lumina. Then he introduced himself while promising that he would return the favor someday. Lumina told him that she would look forward to it before wishing him luck. Afterwards, Lucille entered his room, and he immediately used the spell tome to study the basics, aiming to learn it in 10 days. After reading the book, he found out that reciting spells would drain his magic power, and his skill would increase every time he succeeded. He gave it a try right away. He imagined a wound being reversed before he started reciting the spell. Although it looked like nothing had happened, he felt his magic power leaving his body, so he checked his progression status. Then he saw that his holy magic affinity had increased by 5 points, confirming that he was doing it right. And after checking his magic power, he recited the spell 9 more times until he drained his magic power, which made him feel like he had a hangover. After replenishing his magic power, Lucille continued his training, but he decided to focus on his magic control and magic training to reduce the consumption of his magic spells. The next day, Lucille panicked after waking up, thinking that he was late for work. However, he realized that his reincarnation wasn't a dream. Then he thought he'd work hard and try to make a better life in this new world. He recited magic spells to drain his magic power, just stopping before exhausting it. Afterwards, he starts practicing his magic handling while waiting for his MP to recover. He repeated this over and over until he finally got the hang of magic. It was confirmed when he saw the huge progress in his status, and he felt satisfied seeing the numbers since it shows that his efforts are being rewarded. At the same time, a beautiful girl came to his room to bring him food. She was Monica. On his 3rd day, Lucille finally succeeded in using the healing spell. Monica congratulated him while returning his card, but he was surprised that he had to pay 1 silver coin. He didn't know what he should do next, so he asked Monica if he had to find Lumina to seek guidance. Because of this, she realized that Lucille was the person that Lumina brought, and she immediately apologized before returning his silver coin. Then she explained that Lumina had made arrangements so Lucille could use the room for 10 days. Because of this, Lucille thought that Lumina had high authority. So Monica explained that Lumina is the captain of the church's new female paladin regiment. Lucille thought that she was awesome and that it was a blessing that he had met her. Before going out to promote himself, Lucille had learned that a reasonable charge for a single healing spell was 1 silver coin. However, Monica also informed him that healers had to pay dues called offerings, depending on their ranks. Lucille met the adventurers from before while he was looking for an adventurers guild he could work for, and although he was intimidated by their leader, Bazin, he thought he could ask them about the guild. However, another group of adventurers arrived, but they were heavily injured. Bazin was upset that they took on tasks they couldn't handle, while his party was upset that they couldn't count on the Cleric. Hearing this, Lucille remembered that Monica mentioned that some healers charge exorbitant prices or cause confrontations, and the law couldn't keep up with their schemes, so he promised Monica that he would never become a corrupt healer, and he immediately offered to heal the adventurers. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and look forward to the next part.